Yes.
I can't place the house.
All right, everybody, it's 7 o'clock. Everybody rise and pledge allegiance. We'll get started. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have roll call. Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Bales.
Opening comments. Started. Hearing none, we'll move to the approval agenda for tonight's meeting and the meeting minutes of March 9th. Anybody have any additions, corrections, deletions, or otherwise?
I make a motion that we approve the agenda and the minutes of
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Number 5, approval of payment of the bills. You have bills in your packet in the amount of $55,824.96. What is the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to pay the bill as written.
I'll support.
Motion's been made and supported. Is there any further discussion? Roll call
Bales.
Yes.
Boskee.
vote. Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Fountain, yes. Lintz.
Yes.
Dreier.
Yes.
Gualdoni. Yes.
Motion has carried. Correspondence. Anybody have any correspondence? In your packets. Move down to reports. Supervisors' reports. If I can only read my own handwriting. Pretty bad. A little bit of an update on what's going on in the township. First of all, very limited for my involvement. My mother-in-law has been in the hospital, and so I've been spending 12 hours a day up there dealing with that. We had a power outage, but it didn't get any better than that. We had a power outage and internet failure last week. So when I finally made it back to work, we didn't have any phones or any computers. Not a lot I can do. And everybody else's phones and internet came back up, and mine didn't. So I sat there unable to do anything on a computer or otherwise while IT worked on it. And when I left last week, they were still working on it. I'm back up to speed now and trying to dig myself out of the hole that I have for myself. Some things working on hazmat plan. Mentioned that before. I'm not sure if EMAC, if Sarah Whaley has that on hers or not, or if the paper is going to have a link to that survey monkey on our hazmat mitigation location and what our residents in that feel is the biggest issues, hazard-wise, tornadoes, terrorist events, etc. I got a contact from Superior Groundworks, who does our mulch for our playground stuff. Wanted to know if we need anything this year. We got hold of downhill, have him go out and do measuring. If anybody doesn't know, we have marks on the playground equipment that we have to have the mulch up to those points, and so as the sun's down, we may or may not have to do that. And as a reminder, it's not the normal mulch, it's ADA compliant mulch, etc. So that's why we have that in there. I really don't know what that says that I wrote there. Had correspondence with the, oh, I know what it says. Rena, brought that up. I did speak with Mr. Stockman about that. As we discussed at our road meeting, he is supposed to be out here and take care of that the first or second week in April. Because as you know, we have the lapse between our winter and the summer. So that's the follow-up on that. And then, of course, if it doesn't get done, then we will handle that accordingly. A little bit of an update with our wedding barn denial issue. The attorneys discussed, we are going, it hasn't been set yet, but the attorneys, our attorney has asked for everything in writing that they wish to do, and that Elba Township will make a ruling on those things that are in writing, whether or not they fall within the Right to Farm Act, and it will be once and for all clear for everybody what they can and cannot do. Their attorney and our attorney met. Their attorney's out of town, so we're looking at the week of, was it August 7th, it's August 11th, I believe. So, questions? I said August. Little there. Treasurer's report.
I settled with the county on the 12th, everything went really well. In the delinquent roll, I have 8 delinquent personal properties on the roll. I've already spoken with one of the residents, they just had a 33 cent balance, cut left that rolled over, so I've already talked to them. One was new on the roll in 2025, so it's kind of expected that they would be on this one. One filed an exemption in 2025, so I think that's being sorted out. And the other 5, I think, are pretty much debunked. I know Mike, you and I went over them last week, and they're on there pretty much every year.
They need to be eliminated from our TIP program. They no longer exist. So.
Other than that, we're gonna start, like I said at the last meeting, that we're gonna look into all of the fees for BSNA going into January this year. I did talk to Dana when I was in there for settlement. She said that the county is rolling out BSNA for their point of sale system starting in May. So she said when she did the training for it that everybody in the office thought it was going to be really good and that the reporting was really thorough. So I'm gonna wait and see how she feels about it, talk to her some more and get her fees, and I'll bring that back forward.
Along with that, bringing stuff online, Construction Code Authority is going through the ADA compliance website. It's not rolled out. I got the sent over to me today. They are still working on the fillable forms, but they'll soon be rolling that out. So if everybody wants to go on Construction Code Authority's website, you can see what an ADA compliant one looks like. I'm pleased in the fact that it isn't completely dull. It actually has pictures and so forth. Looks pretty good. It is, no question, a lot easier to navigate than it has the required ADA language and so forth. So give you kind of an idea of what ours is going to be looking for or looking like. And you know, just as a kind of a cost thing, CCA's was $1,400, and we're looking for about $2,000 in ours. So a lot of the sky is falling quotes of it's going to be $20,000, and that is I don't think I've come to fruition. All the classes I've went to, all the speaking with the different vendors, even the archiving of old files and so forth, it's going to be not that big of an issue. The biggest thing that we have, just I'll tell everybody, is with like master plans, site plans, complete meeting packets. That county Lapeer, I know, is struggling with that because it's impossible to make an entire meeting packet ADA compliant. You can do your agendas, you can do your minutes and so forth, but you know, you get contractor bids and so forth. You know, they're not going to be legal, so everybody's kind of walking through that. It's a quick update. Clerk's report.
The computer was installed for the assistant assessor. Actually, Tammy got the new one, and the assistant assessor got hers. Mike's email issue was resolved with Jeremy, and he confirmed that he's gonna send a quote for your HD to SSD, which is probably in the $300 range. I'm gonna make him confirm that you have a hard drive and not a solid state. I'm not sure.
I'm happy that I have many people last year. All right, planning commission.
Fiberlink, wanted to move their dumpster outside of the gate, something about their asphalt pad. They were supposed to, they're within 5 foot of the setback, they're actually over. Just brought them back to the 20-foot side yard setback, and that's where we were.
Questions? Fire chief.
We continue to be busy. We're 34 for the year already. We're out right now with a year on garage fire on Walton Road. And that's just
Commissioner, GLTA, you got any?
Just that we actually did a propane video today at GLTA, so once we get that, I will send it to all of the board members so you can see it. So we actually filmed quite a few of our buses because of the different themes that were in the buses. So.
Alrighty. Questions? EMS.
It was standing room only for the first time since I started going to EMS meetings last Tuesday. Apparently there was union issue with shifted changes. I don't have a lot of information on that because they came back and after the rest of us left and that was negotiations, so we don't know if be in there. Other than that, the EMSMC sent 3 representatives to discuss the ongoing billing issues that I spoke about last meeting. And they basically said that they were going to have managers do weekly meetings to address the backlogs and get it taken care of, and they apologized. And pretty much just said they were going to reevaluate it when the contract was up. It was a really long meeting, but there was a lot of people from the union speaking, and then once they were able to speak with the director, we couldn't be in there. So.
Anybody have any questions? Now moves us down to our first agenda item, road commission agreements. You have in your packet, I don't really care which order you go in. What's everybody want to start with? I don't know what's the first one, everybody else's packet, I don't mind so much.
I have Stewart first.
Stewart Road first? Okay, you have in your packet, Stewart Road. Everybody's painfully aware of this one. For the board's knowledge, I did go to the road commission meeting last week to plead our case that, you know, they had mobilized an excavator, dug a trench, mobilized sign crews, put that in. The culvert is in stock. I confirmed that. It was in stock. It has been. And they couldn't answer why they didn't just go ahead and install it. Now they have to bring an excavator and everything else back up. I was made aware of, that was Wednesday, the Friday before the storms came through. there was a tree that came down on Bullock Road and essentially cut off that section of Stewart and Bullock Road, Lakeville, Waterland, Emery Drive, or Emery Lane. I told that to the road commission as well, and it's still not repaired as of today. So I guess it just all boils down to their plan is just to keep it open or keep it closed unless we pay for this culvert. I have no doubt whatsoever that it has failed and it needs to be replaced. The bid in your packet is for $6,700. And I guess just as a overview, all told, $73,100 worth of contracts and road commission contracts in your packet today. What's the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to prepare this as presented.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to enter in the contract road project agreement for the Stewart Road cross tube. Roll call
Gualdoni,
Yes.
Bales,
Yes.
Boskee,
vote. Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Fountain, yes, Lintz,
Yes.
Dreier,
Yes.
Motion is carried. Next is cross tube, Lippincott Road between Casper Lake and Washburn Road. If you look at our road commission, map, it shows that there's only one cross tube in that section. Between the two intersections of Washburn Road and Casper Lake Road, there is 5 cross tubes. And after tonight, we will replace 4. The second one, they don't even show on their list. We didn't have a picture for that, went out and took the photographs. It is the one that is closest to Cobb Road, and it's completely underwater on both sides. You can't see the ends of one way or the other. There is a little bit of, and you should have gotten your packets, there is a cost difference between all of those, as Dave explained it though. Washburn Road and Lippincott Road, just to explain the estimates, the same cost for Lippincott is 10 feet shorter, but that section is limestone, and so the material used for backfill is more expensive, so it offsets the 10-foot culvert length. That is in the amount of $4,700.
I think it shows what, 15? No, I think it's 15. The one is 15. So it's 55, 10, or 18 by 55 and 18 by 40. So it would be 15.
40 and 50 is 10 feet difference.
At 55. That's Stewart Road.
Yeah.
Stewart Road. Oh, I'm
This
sorry.
is the difference between Washburn.
Between the two. Okay,
Right.
I see.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
10 feet, so.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking with the Stewart Road one.
No.
Yes.
18-inch by 40-foot poly-coated.
Right.
What's the board's pleasure?
I move that we approve the culvert replacement.
Motion's been made and supported to,
for which one?
For Lippincott. We were talking about Lippincott.
roll call
Dreier,
Yes.
Gualdoni,
Yes. You got it.
Bales,
Yes.
Boskee,
vote. Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Fountain, yes, Lintz,
Yes.
Lintz was the second one.
Correct. Motion by. Next one is a culvert replacement on Washburn Road, north of Cobb, 18-inch by 50-foot. It's the same price for the next one. Board's pleasure.
This is the one that had the tree.
second that.
Motion's been made and supported. Further discussion?
Yes. Gualdoni.
Yes.
Bales. Boskee.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Fountain, yes.
Motion has carried. The next in our packet is dust control, up to 3 applications, the cost of $11,500 per application. So the contract amount, if they did all 3, would be $34,500. Anybody have any questions on that? Anybody from the road want to expand on that at all? Our thought process? Oh,
I think we're just better than we're trying.
I do have one question about that.
okay.
My microphone's dead. This dust control, the material that's used in it, I mean, I'm sure it does a good job of controlling the dust, but has anybody done like a study on the health implications of that? You know, you're putting chemicals on the road.
I'm sure there's lots of studies, because I know MEQ was dealing with MDOT and the road commissions on not only their dust control, but also on their salting in the winter months. And they have some guidance for the number of gallons per mile that they put on. They're not supposed to exceed that, et cetera, et cetera. So there is studying going on, but again, houses don't have anything to do with roads, so it's not us that is doing that. It's road commissions in the state. But we have in our packet natural brine and calcium chloride. Those are the 2 choices, if you will, to pick from. And to give you an idea of, actually we have 2 choices. We have natural brine, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contractors. And what is presented to us today is the road commission actually doing it at a cost of $11,500 per application. If we were to go to calcium chloride, every application would be $38,009.28 per application.
So which one are we doing?
We're doing $11,500.
Okay. But that's also the natural one too.
That's the natural one.
That's a double win.
Questions?
Yeah, I think the battery's good. Sorry.
It's on, your light is on.
No, it isn't.
Not
On
on
the
the
front it is.
It's not on the back.
Oh, this time.
Yeah.
Oh, it just went off. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, what's the board's pleasure? Does anybody have any questions?
What was the cost last year? Any chance you have that?
I do. I don't. I do.
There you go.
Because we go to the road commission, and the road commission doesn't put their bids in the packets. You have to contact them individually, so I can tell you what the bids are in the packet, but we didn't go with them last year, we went with the road commission because it was cheaper last year as well. The low bid though last year was Corrigan Oil at $8,508. But again, we go with the rotation. And in attending the road commission meetings, Wilkinson up north of Lapeer did not submit a bid last year. This year they did. In attending the road commission meetings though, the road commission now is getting brine, natural brine, right from the road, or from Wilkinson's wells. So, I guess worked out good Board's pleasure. Go ahead.
I'm gonna make a motion that we do, go with the bid from the road commission for the $11,500 per application for the dust control program. I will make a caveat, because we did discuss this during our road commission meeting, they are not the low bid. But the reason why I feel that we should go with them is because in the past years, historically, what they've done is been able to cover more roads in different areas that need it more than others. So if we were to go with one of the other contractors, and one of the big Barneys concerns me that it's so much lower than the others. So that is something I don't believe anybody has gotten. I don't think they've done anything in Lapeer County before. But I just feel that with this road, the dust control, that we would be able to get a better coverage from the road commission that we have received in the past.
And we did call and confirm that with the road commission, even though they had stated that in the meeting, we did call and confirm that. Where other contractors, they place the call and it's the entire township, all that, and per their contract, per their bidded amount, it's X number of gallons per mile. What the road commission is able to do is tailor that according to the road travel. For example, the dead-end part of Mitchell Road that has 3 homes on it doesn't have as much wear and tear even remotely as, say, Stewart or Bullock or Mitchell Road. And so they give more gallons on those roads and take back on the one that has 3 houses and a dead end, not as much traffic. That being said, if we do have a mid-season for whatever happens and a specific road needs to be done, we can just have that road grind. It's not a entire township for the entire $11,500. So for those reasons, it was an easy bid for us. We have a motion. Do we have support?
Support.
Motion and supported. Any further direction? Questions? Roll call
Fountain, yes. Lentz?
vote.
Lentz? Dreier?
Yes.
Gualdoni?
Yes.
Bales?
Yes.
Boskee?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion has carried. Next is the roadside mowing. This one was a little disappointing to me. Previously, if you go back, Joe Stock was the winning bidder in our township for a good number of years. Did a good job. They did the local roads. The road commission would do the primary roads, and I would field phone calls. You know, hey, they missed my road, and I have to explain that's a different mowing crew that will be here whenever they're here. The road commission started doing the roadside mowing and offering bids, and it was significantly cheaper than the contractors, and they would come into a township and do it all in one, so all the roads were done at one time. Change of the road commission. All I'll say is the cost allocation, which I have a big issue with, for the road commission, tractors exceeded the entire contract bids for private contractors. So they were nowhere near the low bid. They still came in kind of consistent with what we paid last year, so it wasn't a big price increase, but they are not the low bidder. The road commission's price, $8,750 per mow, double pass. Just so everybody knows, the low bidder this year was S&L Landscape at $4,687. Now, they They've never done anything in Lapeer County before. They've never, any township utilized them otherwise. Talked to the road commission foreman, and all he can say is he's talked to them on the phone, and they sound like nice people. They're not from Lapeer County, or anywhere near us. Just to give you an idea of the big swing though, one that has done in Lapeer County in the past, always along here. 9828, Jablonski and Sons. The other private contractor that's operated in Lapeer County for a good number of years is Randy Green Excavating, but he did not offer a bid for us. So the 9828, 8750, pretty consistent. Lapeer County Road Commission being the lower of those two, and the new kid on the block. Kind of, when we normally do bids, it's kind of if you get one that is drastically lower, drastically higher, kind of raises some red flags. So the contract that you have in front of you is for the Lapeer County Road Commission to continue to do it.
I'll make that motion to have the Lapeer County Road Commission for the 87.5 contract for 2026.
And motion's been made and supported to approve the contract for Donald Pass roadside mowing at $8,750 per mow. And we're anticipating 2, so for a cost of $17,000. Questions?
No, but again, I will just, when we were talking, just kind of go back over again. That's the reason why we were a little skeptical on the S&L, because when I did some research, it looked like they were from out of county. So it just kind of concerned me that they thought that they could do that job for half the price of what everybody else was bidding it, so.
And we don't have any references, we don't have any other municipality that we can contact and say, you know, how do they do for you guys?
How did they perform? If they, perform and do other work for other municipalities in 2026, and they have that as a reference, I would say, it'd be easier to consider, but that price kind of concerned me.
Anything else? Roll call vote.
Terry,
Yes.
Fawn, yes. Lintz,
Yes.
Dreier,
Yes.
Gualdoni,
Yes.
Bales,
Yes.
Boskee.
Yes. Motion is carried. The next is the brush axing contract for the road commission. It's the same as in previous years. They'll do $10,000 worth of brush axing. And the township's portion is $5,000. Road commission covers $5,000. And it's as directed by the township. I do have the 2025 where they did it. I did talk to the road commission. Some of the primary roads, they haven't been getting. The whole reason for brush axing is to maintain those that are bigger than the, just grass and weeds, vegetation, so that you don't have the shrubs and then the trees that grow up in the basin of the ditches that add to flooding and drainage issues and so forth. And then when you do ditching projects, they add tremendous cost to projects. Any questions on that? What's the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion that we accept the agreement for $10,000, the cost allocation of $5,000 from the township.
I'll second.
We have a motion and support. Roll call
Boskee,
vote. Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Fawn, yes. Lintz,
Yes.
Dreier,
Yes.
Gualdoni,
Yes.
Bales,
Yes.
Motion is carried. Next next on the agenda, fire truck bids. This is the bids that we received by 5 o'clock today. This is for a 1991.
1990 Dodge.
1990 Dodge 350. It was a grass truck at Station 1. The fire department came to the board a month or so ago and asked for permission to dispose of that unit. It is no longer needed, and they are selling it with all the equipment attached except for the front removable portable pump. It's working in here, sealed bid by 5 o'clock today. And this fire truck has 7,791 miles on it.
Something like that.
That's what it was when I took pictures of it a week or so ago. So. All right, what do you have there?
Want me to go through all of them? Have them on it.
Give me the high bid and
You just want the numbers?
yeah, just.
8,200.
Oh.
76, 54, 32,
70.
$7,654.32. 36, 56, 56. 3,130. 3,100 even. 1,600.
Okay, by calculations, 8,200 is the high bid. I would suggest that going forward, we're set it to the auction. I think that was $8,200 is a steal for a truck that has been maintained, has 7,700 original miles, not a drop of rust on it one way or the other. 4-wheel drive. It is stick shift, so it has the millennial anti-theft. I'm sure that probably cut back on the bidding. I know that's one of the reasons the fire department, this is the last manual transmission in the fleet.
I'll also say, I don't think we paid a lot more for that than we bought it.
I will say that, like my 97 Ford Super Duty that I sold with X number of miles, no rust and everything, I sold that X number of years ago for $8,000. Currently it would be $24,000 for the same vehicle, so. All right, we will notify the winning bidder and get the title to them, and we have one less vehicle in our fleet, and contact the insurance company to take that off our insurance. So, questions with any of that? All right, next on the agenda is public time. Anybody in the audience wish to speak before, state your name and address and.
My name is Robert Williams. I live at 4561 Stewart Road.
Talked to you a few times.
Yes. When are they going to fix the road? I mean, I know it passed, but do we have a timeline on when they're gonna get out there and get it?
I implored them last week to get out there and, you know, fix it. They graded on Saturday, which was overtime.
Not down our road.
Go down
I didn't say everywhere, I know they're all graded on different roads, on overtime on Saturday.
Yeah, because I had to wait for them to get out of the way, so.
All I can do, again, is I explained to you, the township doesn't, we don't control the road commission. They're road commission roads. I'll notify them that we're gonna pay the bill, but it'll be up to the road commission to actually do it.
My next question is, who's gonna repair my septic field for these guys cutting through my yard to get around that barrier?
I told the road commission that as well. I brought your complaints to them when I spoke to them last week. Okay.
That still didn't answer the question.
I don't have an answer for you. As I know you're frustrated, rightfully so, I am, I think everybody in the township is. It defies logic to not have fixed the road. And I've talked to so many people in the last week, I've got handouts here, let's make it perfectly clear. There is no township that has any legal or financial responsibility for roads, period. Legal or financial. Whether there's injuries or a duty to fix. It's in the law, it's been challenged, it's been upheld by the Michigan Supreme Court. So we have, as most of the townships in Lapeer County have graciously spent money on roads, even though we didn't need to. Elba Township to the tune of $350,000 to $450,000 a year, which equates to over 25% of our total budget we're spending on roads. Okay? If it was up to me, the road would have been fixed prior to. If it was up to me, after I attended the road commission meeting and spoke to the elected road commissioners, they would have fixed it immediately. I relayed all of the issues, not only that you're having with people going around, emergency services going because they're driving into water, trees blocking, and so the residents are trapped into that house, apparently fell on deaf ears. So all I can do is notify them in the morning that, in fact, we, as I said to them before, we have never, as I said here, listen, we approve everything that comes toward us. It seems that they bring and surprise more and more on us every year.
But you voted it down last year.
Yeah, correct. We did. And that was,
And that's why we're in this mess.
we simply, and I don't want to turn this into a free-for-all, it's public time, but I will speak openly and try to explain some of these things. Again, Elba Township, we spend this money, we turn in our audit, and then Lansing contacts us with a nasty gram wanting to know why we are spending so much money on roads. We have replaced culverts. These little $6,000, $4,000 culverts are not a big deal. But in the last year, they've hit us with culverts that are over $100,000. Nothing that we budgeted for. It was just at last minute, they come to us and say, this is failing. And whether it is Merlin Road or whether it is Maple Leaf Road, those culverts exceeded $100,000 for each one of those. And it's the same thing. If you don't pay for it, then we're going to keep the road closed. So the township paid for those. We dug in and paid for them to keep those roads open. And then they come to us with the one on Stewart Road and said, they want you to replace that as well. We said, time out. We're going to take another year. We'll examine it in the next budget year. Remind you, it is not a township function. If it was that dire back then, and the culvert was ordered and it has been sitting at the road commission garage ever since, just sitting on the ground. Yes, ma'am.
Now, have you paid for it now? Is it done, what they asked for the year?
Yes.
So all we need to do now is to contact the road commission in order to get them moving. Is that correct? I mean, you guys are done. You guys don't have anything more to do with it.
Correct. We didn't have anything to do with it to begin with, but now their final thing is, hey, you know, we don't have the funds in our budget to pay for it, will you pay for it? We have said yes.
You agree. So now it really is in their hands and the problem is theirs.
Well, it was before, but yes, there's no way for them to say, well, we're still waiting for the culvert to come in, it's already in. There's nothing for them to say, well, we're waiting to see if the township will pay for it.
You pay for it. Okay.
Pay for it. Next. Yes, sir.
Yes, Peter, I 484 Stewart Road, head of the township resident. We have a farm in my family, right up against Stewart Road, right up against Elba Township there. And we have a field that's got an 8th mile frontage on Stewart Road, happens to be on the west side of Hadley Road there. And I'm looking for some answers and seeing if you can get some direction. Elba pays, in Hadley they pay for the grading of the roads. I know that much. Does Elba pay for grading in the roads?
No, Hadley doesn't pay for grading. The only time that they would pay for grading in the roads is in a road project, like when we did the limestone and so forth.
So when the limestone was put on Stewart Road, that was paid for by Elba, correct?
That entire project was paid for by Elba.
So what happened is basically the employees of Elba, the road commission, filled the ditch on the east side of 4172 is filled full of limestone. And it's 3 inches above the culvert, which I really wouldn't care because that's not my property. But the problem is our farm field that butts up against Stewart Road now cannot, its surface water comes down there and drains. And the dirt is 3 inches above the culvert. So you got 12-inch culvert, you got 3 inches, so it's 15 inches of surface water that is now backed up and makes a dam. And it has to evaporate before it can get to the Castle Lake drain. Last year there was a carp that died on top of that dirt when the water ran out. There was still water on our side. And when my cousin came down and asked you to look at it and see if you would do something about it, you said that the farmers are the ones that were responsible for filling that dirt full of debris from the field. Well, I'm here to say we mow that 8th mile ditch. If you'd like to drive out there and look, it's been mowed. I mow it when it's dry, when there's water flooding, I can't quite maintain it. I maintain it all the way up to 4127's culvert on the west side of the driveway. Right now, there is a bunch of debris and water that's on our side of the culvert because it can't go through to the creek. So I'm wondering, number one, and when my cousin bought it to you last year, you poo-pooed it. I was just curious, did you get a chance to go out and look at it?
I don't remember any conversation.
Well, I know it's on the record. All you have to do is look at YouTube, it's there. But I was wondering, can we have it looked at? I mean, whether you feel you're responsible for that, but it would. We make our living from farming, and all it has to do is remove the limestone out of the ditch. I'm not looking to have the ditch deepened. I'm just looking to have it so that the culvert that's in the driveway connects. You're only looking at 30 yards. Looking at from here to the corner of the building. And you could drain a lot of water off our field. It's surface water. I'm not looking for anything special. I'm just looking for all the limestone that's been in the ditch for 6 years, then now has trees and everything growing in it. Just something to look at, and I know you're going to be down there fixing the culvert on our side of the road that's been thinking around for a year. I was wondering maybe they could just come down there and remove 30 yards of road gravel out of the ditch. That's all.
I will certainly pass along
And
the commission for
if you could, I'd like to give you my number after the meeting or whatever. Maybe when you or whoever you want to look at it, let me know. I'll meet you down there and we can discuss why it doesn't flow, but we need to have a look at it.
Certainly.
I appreciate that.
Yep, no problem. Next. Yes, sir.
May I use the podium?
Absolutely.
My name is David Richardson. I'm an attorney in Lapeer, and I am a candidate for the district court judge. The position right now is being held by Judge Barnard. She will not be running this next year. She is age termed out or limited out. So just to give you an idea, the position is nonpartisan. So it's not Republican or Democrat. It's not affiliated with any party. It deals with a variety of different areas of law. The primary area is criminal. Everything starts in the district court, whether it's a felony or a misdemeanor, it starts in district court. The felonies will go on to circuit court, the misdemeanors will remain in district court and be resolved there. We also, right now, the civil cases that usually are in district court and landlord-tenant cases, which are typically in district court, have been farmed out to other judges. That is my understanding is that those are going to be coming back into the district court. So that is something that I welcome, certainly. The process that we're involved in right now, instead of Have Gun Will Travel, the 1957 TV show, I've got Have Clipboard Will Travel. So I'm collecting petition signatures. There's a minimum of 400 that are required, and I'm well over that at this point in time, but I'm still collecting more just to have kind of a safety net there. And I welcome anybody to be willing to sign the petition. It does not commit you to vote for me, just is part of the democratic process that puts me on the ballot. And so if you haven't signed my opponents, you certainly can sign mine. Just to give you a little background, I grew up in Jackson County. I came out of a working class family. By the time I was in junior high, I was working in the local orchards and on dairy farm. And so that started in junior high and hasn't stopped since then as far as working. I'm married, been married 43 years. I tell people I married into Lapeer County. I married Sam Heron's daughter in North Branch, and we've been married 43 years. I have 2 daughters, and I, as of Thursday, now have 9 grandchildren. And so dad jokes have been replaced by papa jokes, which keep me humble. So I also just may or may not recall this, and 10 years ago, I ran a write-in campaign against a long-time incumbent judge, basically declared after the primary, had 90 days, I had a 90-day sprint, and I received 22% of the vote that was cast for the circuit court judge position. So I thought that was, in hindsight, I thought that was very good. I've been in practice in Lapeer County for 40 years. I practice in multiple areas, including all the areas that are going to be dealt with as a district court judge. I go to court daily, usually several times a day. I'm a frequent flyer in the court system in Lapeer County and in surrounding counties as well. I believe that I possess the appropriate demeanor as a judge, for a judge. I very easily move into the problem-solving hat and wear that problem-solving hat as an attorney. That's what we do. We help solve problems. I've been in practice 40 years. I'm not going to hire some political advisor from metro area, Lansing, or Grand Rapids to repackage me for 40 years of practice. People are going to get the good, bad, and the ugly. It's going to be a very organic campaign on my part. Just to indicate my worldview, I have a biblical Christian worldview. I believe every man is created in the image of God. Sometimes that image gets distorted, and we have free choice and free will. And when that choice is bad, there are repercussions and there are consequences of that. So the other thing that I think is important for us to remember too, in court systems, we're dealing with people in crisis. They're either as in a criminal matter, a civil matter, it doesn't matter. They're there in crisis. And usually, it's not just impacting them, it's impacting the spouse, children, it impacts the officers, the attorneys involved. There's many a time I've gone home from court situations just emotionally drained because it is very draining. So I think that's something that we need to keep in mind. I believe that I am well qualified for the position. I will hopefully be able to come back and meet with you again once the field gets determined. Right now, there's another individual who has indicated that she is going to seek the position. And until April 21st, anybody else could enter into that process. But right now, there's the two of us. If it remains the two of us, then we would go through to the election in November. If anybody else joins the field, then there would be a primary in August, and the two top vote getters would go through to the election in November. So again, I will be back, hopefully, to just give, I'll have some literature at that point in time, but we're trying to see where the field is going to land at this point in time. I'd like to answer any questions from board, from anybody who is present. If there's any.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes. Hearing and seeing no one, we'll close public time. We don't have any additional agenda items or any unscheduled business, so having went through the agenda, declare the meeting adjourned.
Well, if the township